Verona, good morning to both of you. Thanks for getting up early and coming in today. And this is such a big issue and timely for, a lot of people around my age that, have older parents. My mom and stepdad just moved into an apartment, one level living, trying to downsize. And I know that's a lot of people that are, that are kind of going through that transition. So first off, let's talk a little bit about, some of the things that you all offer.
Well, sure. So I am the operations manager for Caring Transitions. And so with us, we handle everything around relocating, but also adjacent things as well. And so it's not just for relocating, but say downsizing or decluttering,
Right.
which is very important a lot for seniors for mobility and those sorts of things. And we also help with getting rid of those belongings, either through auction or possibly even through donation to charity. And we also help with managing the mental aspect of trying to figure out what to keep and what not to keep.
And that right there is so huge. I know just, my own experience with my family, it's, these are all precious memories, but there's also a lot of clutter and paperwork and clothing and things like that that they really don't need to take with them. So how do you kind of counsel, families when they're making these decisions?
Sure. Well, I think when tackling an issue like this, it's important to understand where it comes from, because a lot of people will feel guilty about a lot of these feelings when I think that's not really necessary or appropriate, because a lot of this is coming from the values that we have from our parents, which comes from our grandparents, which comes from our great-grandparents,
Right.
from a time of scarcity, like going through the Depression and having really a necessity to value things and to hold on to things and not be wasteful. And so having those values and trying to bring them into a modern world where things are abundant, things are being, shoved down our throat through marketing and
Right.
things, where we have an abundance of things, and it's a different environment to try to figure out how to manage the value of being not wasteful while also worrying about our space and our health and our quality of life now. And so it's a mismatch between time periods. It's living with an older way of thinking in a new world.
And so the decluttering and also relocating services as well. Talk a little bit about that.
Yes, so in a lot of situations, our elderly now are living further and further away from their family. Their family has moved away for work or for other reasons. And so they don't have the means to move themselves, and they don't have the help around them to move themselves. And so moving for seniors is a much bigger task than it ever was, because living communally as we used to, you would have help all around you, but now they don't.
Right.
And so it's the physical work of moving, but it's also the planning stages. And like I said, figuring out what to keep, what not to keep. And like you said, a lot of seniors are moving into single level homes
Right.
for the safety reasons. And so it's an incorporation of all of those things. But yes, we provide moving services, packing, planning, the actual move, and the setup to make the new home feel as much like the old home as they would like it to.
Yeah, and that's a really good thing, because sometimes you need that third party person, that objective person to kind of, help you make those decisions during these transitional times. Well, I want to thank you both so much for coming in today and for all that you do for our families in our area. And if you'd like more information or perhaps a free consultation or just to read more about Caring Transitions, we've added a link along with this segment on our website. Just click on the morning page. Stay with us. More news and weather coming up after the break.